You want it, you got it. Today I'm going to show you guys how to build the BVC coil heads for your Nautilus Mini and for your regular Nautilus. Now before we get down to it and I show you guys how to rebuild this sucker, this BVC coil head, I want to state this. This is for you mouth to lung inhalers, okay? This is not for you lung inhalers. This isn't for the guys that want to chuck the clouds, not even close. But with these mouth to lung inhales, it's going to be a restrictive draw. You're going to get kick-ass flavor off of this build. So you guys ready? Let's go! So the first thing we're going to want to do is wrap our vertical micro coil. I've got 8 inches of this 28 gauge Canthal, and I'm going to be wrapping around this Phillips head screwdriver, which is equivalent to a 1/16 drill bit. And we're going to do 11 wraps as close together as possible. Okay, so next step, the top lead, pull it out a little bit. Okay, so we're pulling it out, and then all we're going to do is pull it down. Just like that. And then with this bottom lead, all we're going to do is pull that down. Just like that. Next step, we're just going to pinch this sucker together, and we're going to go ahead and torch her till she glows red hot. That way she is completely even. We don't have to worry about hot spots because with the way that we are building this, we're not going to be able to dry burn it or fire it beforehand, get the coils glowing all the way because we're going to be using cotton. Okay, so this is the best way to do it. You'll eliminate the hot spots. You'll be good to go. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use this Japanese cotton. Okay, I got a link in the description on where you can get this. This is cheap. I mean, it's cheap and it's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a slice of this stuff and we're going to wrap it around this vertical coil. Measuring this coil out, you want 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters overlapping on each side. So we're going with 5 millimeters in width for the cotton. Okay, and that's what we're looking at right there. And by the way, with this Japanese cotton, these squares, they come facing each other, kind of pinched together. You can pull them apart, but I'm just going to use the squares just the way they are, how they're together like that. Actually, you know what? I cut it down in width to 4 millimeters instead of 5. You can do 5, but for this video, I'm doing 4 millimeters. And this piece is about 15 millimeters in length. Next, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put juice on this section, this cotton. It just makes it a lot easier to work with. Cotton, once wet, it becomes a more durable fabric. It's actually one of the most durable fabrics once wet. Slide it underneath that top lead, just like that. And that's how you want it right there. Yep, 4 millimeters in width is absolutely perfect. Exactly what you want. Now all we're going to do is we're just going to roll this cotton around this coil. Exactly what you want right there. Pinch it in the same direction and just keep doing that. Get her nice and tight. You want to see light at the end of that coil because that's where the air is coming from. The air is going to come up through that vertical coil, hence BVC, bottom vertical coil. Got to have that airflow running up through the coil. So that's it. That's what we got there. Now we're going to go ahead and install her into the coil head. Okay, you're going to want to work it from the base. And the way we do it is we get it in the hole and then we just twist. Okay, gently. And it's going to be a little loose. See how there's space down there? We're going to fix that. One through the middle, one through the outside. Insert the pin. Push it, let it stick to the side. Oh yeah. What I'll do is I'll hit those 2 spots up again, make sure it's completely solid, full of cotton around that little cocoon. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll repeat the process until the outside excess space is filled in. And there she is, all filled up. Excess space on the outside. You guys can see that hole in the middle. That is the center of the coil. You're going to have airflow running up through that vertical coil. Today I'm going to be using the regular Nautilus because, hey, I can fit more juice, 5 mils. And also because the BVC coil heads are compatible with the Nautilus. Alrighty, let's go ahead and vapor. Alrighty, so that is how to rebuild your BVC coil head for your Nautilus Mini or your Nautilus. And the resistance this build came out to is 1.6 ohms. I got her sitting on this VaporShark DNA 30 18650 mode, and I've got her in the regular Nautilus as I showed you guys before. Oh yeah, I'm vaping her at 17.5 watts. Performance! And as you guys can see, vapor production is good, not great. Okay, not great by any means, nothing like an RDA. And this is not for you cloud chasers. Gotta remind you, not for the cloud chasers, but the flavor is killer. Flavor is great. I could vape this right now. Like I said, I'm vaping at 17.5 watts. I could vapor at 18.5, 19.5, 20, even up to 22 watts. Not ever get a dry hit. Never, never, never get a dry hit and get killer flavor. But here's the thing. It does tend to gurgle, and it tends to gurgle because it's so tight. You got so much cotton in there. You've got to get a happy medium. You got to find your happy medium. Right now, this is a really tight draw. Not too tight for a mouth-along. It's actually perfect for a mouth-along. That's why I recommend it for you mouth-alongers out there. You're going to love it. And you're going to love it because it's restrictive. You get good enough vapor, but the flavor is, flavor's great. Flavor's great, and you could vapor at higher wattages. Rip, you got to cover your details. I almost forgot this, but the airflow is set to wide open, and I'm still getting a really tight draw. Oh yeah, something I never showed you guys was putting that screen back in. The BVC heads come with a screen at the top, and that's for spit back. So make sure you put that screen back in the head so you don't get any spitting, okay? So that is how to rebuild your BVC for your Nautilus Mini and your Nautilus. I hope that helps. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.